I want to move forward a little bit. So you mentioned obviously you're from Korea.
Hmm.
So as a cellist of Korean background, obviously you're aware of the recent rise of just the phenomenal classical musicians that have come from our country. I'm curious, as someone with that background, why do you think this is, and how do you think classical music in Korea has evolved in recent years to lead us to this point?
Mm. So I certainly think that there's like a distinct characteristic of a nationality of being very strict to
Yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
and like working really hard
yeah,
to our each of our goals.
yeah, yeah.
So um, like knowing that, I definitely think that really helps.
Hmm.
But also, like regardless of any
Yeah,
nationality,
yeah,
I do think the passion and love toward music.
yeah,
They should really transcend
yeah,
the hard and dark times
yeah.
that we all should have
Right,
to become a good musician.
right.
And like if that really works out and connects to the audience's mind,
Hmm.
then that becomes a like good result and achievement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
Well, and Well, do you think, at least recently, we've seen, people like win international competition, excuse me, out of Korea, and I think we've always, like you said, had that culture of working really hard for our
Uh-huh.
goals, but there's something very special of like this current wave of classical musicians,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of that was probably the foundation was laid, you know, 40 years ago with like the Chung Trio and
Right,
other
right.
great Korean luminaries.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think, you know, teachers have maybe shifted a little bit in Korea of how they teach, or what else do you think maybe contributed to this rise?
Mm. That's a hard question.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, the musicians at the older generation
Yeah.
has like experienced a lot of international waves,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then they would really contribute a lot to the younger generation.
Right.
So
Right.
that has been like continued.
Yeah.
But also these days, I find there's a lot of talented young musicians
Yeah.
who are like just 7 or 8,
Right. Right.
but they're still really, really good.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah, there are so many
Regardless of
talented.
nationality.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of that obviously has to do with like, the rise of technology,
yeah,
obviously, with
exactly,
with
exactly.
YouTube and
Uh-huh.
all the recordings that are out there. And
Hmm.
because I remember, I'm a little bit older than you, but I was in middle school when YouTube just kind of started to take off,
Hmm.
and even back then, I was so gravitated towards like the
Mm.
limited recordings that were available on YouTube. But now it's
Yes.
like
Hmm.
exponentially much more. So
Right.
it's nice not to just be able to see the older recordings, but
Hmm.
everything is live streamed now. So just to
Right,
be able to see
right.
what musicians are doing currently is it's really eye opening. I think. Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.